So today we will be discussing the part 3 of speaking module, and we will share some tips and tricks about that and the common questions or common topics we have to talk about in the real life exam. So at the end we'll also practice like we did yesterday, and I would appreciate the participation of every one of you. Just a minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's start with introduction, as we also had an overview for part 3 in the first day of this week. But just let's rewind that so that it would be helpful later. So, in the part 3 of speaking module, the examiner asked us questions related to part 2. Like if the examiner has asked us about any museum or artwork, so in the part 2, so he will ask in the part 3 about any, like, do you prefer art to just overgrow in your country, or what is the scenario of art in your country, like that. So basically this part is actually a two-way conversation in which the examiner asks questions and you have to answer that frequently. Like he would ask about 4 to 5 questions and you will have to answer that. And it's not like in the part 1 where we have to just answer the questions in 1 to 2 lines. In here, in the part 3, we will have to extend our answers and speak up to 30 to 50 seconds mostly. So it's also like a university style discussion. Like he is also assessing your ability to take part in the university discussions during the lectures when the lecturer or your teacher would ask questions or deliver lectures. So he is just assessing your ability, that are you able to ask questions about the lecture or other things. So it's not about how you express your opinions or what your opinions are. It's just about how you spoke those opinions, how you communicate your opinions. It's the matter of language only, and obviously our vocabulary counts, our coherence counts, and the length we speak is the most important one, because in every part we have different tactics or different lengths to speak about, to answer. So in part 1, we just have to speak for approximately 15 to 20 seconds, because we'll have to speak only 1 to 2 lines about the specific answer. And the questions are generally personal in part 1. But in part 2, the questions are also related to our past experience or any of our interests. So they would also be common questions, but in part 3rd, the questions would be a little bit difficult, because these questions won't be the questions that you often think about. Like you wouldn't have any idea about them, and so how can you tackle these questions? Here's a sample. Like I discussed with you that in part 2 the question would be about a visit to museum, and in part 3 the questions can be rather, is there a need for museums in society, or how can museums be made more appealing for young people. So these are not the options I'm showing you. These are about 6 questions, and the examiner also asks you about 4 to 6 questions about a specific topic, and you have to stick to your topic and answer them uh, in a good length, so that you won't get marks deducted. So, what are the common problems we face in the part 3? Obviously, we have no opinion about that because I already mentioned that these questions are generally of a totally different perspective. You haven't thought about these things before in your life. Like this example question, we never thought about is there any need of museum in our society? Most probably, some of you have thought about it, but most of the people haven't thought about it. So these questions are like that. So the main thing is that we won't have the copy of the questions in front of us. Like in the part two, the examiner would give us a cue card on which the question will be written. But in part three, the questions will be asked verbally by the examiner, and we'll have no visual insights of that. And we obviously wouldn't be given time for the brainstorming or to think about the question. Like in part 2 we are given 1 minute to make notes or to think about the answer we are going to say, but in part 3 that would be a two-way conversation, and we won't have time to brainstorm it or to think about it. We will just have to answer them directly. So we will also discuss the techniques by which we can borrow some time to just think about the ideas we are going to say. So we also face difficulty in vocabulary, and we all having to use language to express opinions or possibilities. Like we know what to say. Like we have thought about it in our mind. Like I can say this. Like we make up a point in our mind, but we don't know how to say that. So that is also a difficulty or a barrier in the using English language, because obviously it's not a native language. And what are the strategies? These are the three strategies. And like we will use the delaying tactics if we don't have any opinion, and if we can't find any relevant vocabulary, so we can paraphrase the word, the specific word that's not coming to our mind or onto our tongue. So we can just paraphrase it or just define it, that I want to say for example, let me give you an example. Like if I don't know the meaning of urbanization, so I would say that I would define the word urbanization. For example, I would say that the I that the people are just moderning,
More,
or yeah,
yes, more
moder
literate, more
yeah.
educated.
Yeah, these type of words we can use. So we don't have to just stop or just stuck in the remembering that word. Like if you don't use fancy vocabulary, that's okay. You can just simply define it and go ahead. And also using some models or fixed phrases, like we use an in the writing module, like when we are going to conclude our sentence, we say in conclusion, I would conclude that. And if we are going to express our opinion, we would say that in my opinion, I think that. So these are the fixed phrases as we can memorize earlier during the practice. So what we mean by delaying tactics? Like we can, if the examiner asks us, should the state provide cheap housing for low-income earners? So we can paraphrase the statement, paraphrase the question that the examiner is asking, or you can just ask the examiner to repeat the question. You can say, can you repeat the question? So when he is repeating the question, you will have about 3 to 4 seconds to think about what you are going to say next. This technique will also borrow you some time. And define the question, the terms used. Like it depends what you mean by low income. Like this is a question that interviewer ask, and we can extend the our answer by adding this in the beginning. Like it depends what you mean by low income, and then you may have a pause of 2 to 3 seconds and then elaborate your ideas. And use expressions such as let me think, and you can also have a pause for like 2 to 3 seconds that would appear natural. And the main thing, you don't have to stop uh, speaking more than 3 seconds. Like you may continue to speak, otherwise the marks will be deducted. And the third is to use a different perspective. If you don't have any experience or any perspective about specific thing, you can explain the perspective of someone else. Like if he is asking you from that what is the mode of transportation, what is the most used mode of transportation in your country, so you can say that I oftenly prefer going by car, but the people who do not have a car or can't afford it, they generally travel by rickshaws or buses or etc. So, like this, you can lengthen your answer by adding your perspective and the perspective of someone else. Okay, we may move next, and paraphrasing. Get the students to build up a bank of expressions. I don't remember the exact word, but it's a bit like if you forgot a specific word, like vocabulary, we also used an example of urbanization. So you can extend your answer, like it's a plenty good length of this sentence. So it would bother you some 3 to 4 seconds. And also you have to minimize your speed. You don't have to rush to answer. So if you just boost up your speed, so it would your answer would be finished in less than 50 seconds, and that won't be a good impression. So the next is get you can build a bank of expressions by it's possible, it's likely, it's not possible. Like these are the fixed phrases that we can use. So the final tips are, I would conclude them. The rephrase the question part, and you can borrow some time to think about the keywords, and you can also use the phrases or linking words that you have memorized already, and you have to expand your points. You have to expand your ideas or the things you are saying there. And how can you expand that? We will discuss a new technique. I also came across that. So I would share that with you at the end of this and these slides. So don't speak to search for a word. Okay, like you don't remember a specific word. Don't just stuck there and think about the specific word. Just go ahead and say whatever uh, relates to that word. Remember, the examiner is not assessing your opinion, only how it is expressed. He isn't concerned if your um, opinion is a good one or a bad one. It doesn't matter to him. And the thing that matters to him is how you express that, how you say it out. So be careful while answering such questions. And let me share. So here is a technique which we can use to speak up to 30 to 50 seconds while answering the questions in speaking module part 3. So the technique is known as pre-technique, PREE. So what is meant by pre? It's an abbreviation of a problem, reason, example, and explanation. First, we will discuss the problem. Like in the question, the problem doesn't mean to be any specific problem. By the word problem, we mean here is the question that is asked. We have to address the question directly. Like if the question is, what is your perspective on the transportation? So you would say, first you will say what your opinion is, just state that. And then you will give a reason or a number of reasons. But one reason would be enough, and that reason should relate to your answer. Like if you say, I uh, travel by car, but some people don't cannot afford it, and they just travel through the buses or through the rickshaws or through the in drive, like that. So that would count as your reason, and then example you can give is like, your you can exemplify some of my relatives use in drive for transportation. That would be a good impression, and then explain the example you quoted. Like just lengthen your example or just add one to two sentences against your example. So this was a technique which I came across and I find it too helpful. So I just shared it with you. So let's just come across some common um, questions or topics that the examiner asked in part 3. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Okay. So we this part consists of 4 to 5 minutes, and it would be a two-way conversation. That the examiner would be asking questions, and the questions won't be available for you to read or see. You will only hear them from the examiner's uh, mouth. In speaking part 3, the examiner will ask a broader range of questions based on the topic that you had in speaking part 2. Like we already discussed that the questions will be related to the part 2, and it's usually based on the world issues or common topics. But we often don't think about those world issues or the common topics. Okay, for example, this is a question, advertising. So, do you think adverts have a big impact on what people buy? It's about an advertisement and ads that appear on social media platforms or on the TV screens or in the form of banners all around the streets, like that. So, these are the relevant questions that could be asked, but I already mentioned that you won't be able to see them. So, let's go towards our mock practice. So, any one of you is willing, please raise your hand or open your mic.
Yes, ma'am. I am willing.
Okay, sir. I will stop the screen so that you will have a real time experience. Okay,
So,
sir.
yes,
Your
ma'am.
Your question is, can clothing tell you much about a person?
Ma'am, I cannot understand. Can you repeat it?
Can clothing tell you much about a person? The clothes he wears.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, cloth help to shape the personality of the people. So usually, the people easily we can identify by just see their address. For example, in the rural area, we can easily understand if any person wear a formal dress. So we can consider this is a foreign person or maybe a person who is working in a good organization. But on the other hand, if a person wear very normal cloth, you usually shalwar kameez, so you can easily imagine this is a person live in a village and usually work in a farming. So yes, definitely cloth help to identify the personality of the person, and also shape the personality how people can show themselves.
Great, sir. It was a good response. Your second question is, why do some companies ask their staff to wear uniforms?
Basically, some companies are requirement to show their standard. For example, if the employees in the company wear a good and formal dress, so they can feel more confidence and they can also work properly. For example, if any person uh, go to that company for any reason, they impress from the employees, not just from their behavior but also from their appearance. Basically, appearance is the first impression when we meet people to before talking with them. So in that scenario, the physical appearance play a very good role, and also leave a good expression on other people. So that is the main reason companies emphasize their employees to wear formal dress during working in the company.
Okay, when do people wear traditional clothing in your country?
Ma'am, can you repeat it? I think due to low voice, I usually cannot understand some question.
When do people wear traditional clothing in your country?
So mostly people in our country wear a traditional cloth on special occasion like Eid festival, and also some regional festival like melas. So in that festival, people wear traditional cloth like in a Pakistan. The majority of people wear shalwar kameez on these festival, but in the village city area, people do not like the traditional cloth. So it's my opinion, but that is okay.
Okay. So, how have clothes fashions changed in your country over the last few decades?
uh, I personally believe that the traditional of wearing cloth has changed a lot in the recent decade. I remember when I was child, usually people wear a local traditional cloth like a shalwar kameez, but later on this trend totally changed. So now in the school system at the basic education, they only allow student they wear a uniform of like pant shirt, and also in other offices they strictly order to their employees to wear a formal dress rather than to wear traditional dress. So I think due to the advancement in technology, so people are more aware what is happening all over the world and what is the best trend people follow in a different country. So that is the main reason in our own country many different organization and companies try to follow that trend, and then they restrict that rule on their employees and also in other sectors.
Very well done, sir. That was fabulous. You almost took more than 1 minute to answer each question, and that was good. And you also included several examples, and you also reasonized your answers, and that lengthened your answer, and that was a very good impression. And I'm really impressed, and I'm honestly saying that. Thank you for participation. But you just had some wrong vocabulary, like you used that would leave a good expression. It would be an impression, a good impression. So that's a small mistake that can be overcome, but you were good, sir.
Yes, ma'am, I think this is due to hesitation because usually I practice with the chat GPT, so no human experience. So that is the main reasons I run out of main word.
That's totally okay. You can overcome it by practicing with any of your colleague or any of your fellow or anyone at your home. Or if you cannot find someone, you can come here. We have 1 day left, or you can also find a partner here to speak or practice.
Inshallah, ma'am.
Okay. So anyone else?
Yeah, I'm willing.
Okay, ma'am. So okay, the question is family important in your country?
Sorry,
Is family important in your country?
family.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my family is very important in our country, and even it uh, uh, and even sorry, I start it again.
Okay, no problem. We can start it. Is family important in your country?
Yeah, in my opinion, family is very important in our country because Pakistan is Islamic country, and in Islam, family is a very important part of it. Because it because oh,
It's okay.
it
Don't rush.
yeah. So I think in foreign countries, if I compare my country with other countries, so in Europe, family, you know, it is not much important, but in Pakistan, because it is a Islamic country, so it is important to us to we prioritize family. uh, um, yeah,
Great.
enough.
So, how do you think the family will change in the future?
Family will change in the future.
Yeah, the importance of family, the trend of prioritizing our family.
Okay, I have never thought about it, but in my opinion, if I am telling about me, my family, I don't think so. Family trends would be changed, obviously, but family priorities cannot be changed in my country, because we prioritize in every even our events, and in different scenarios, we consider our family. So I don't think so it would be changed.
Okay. So, how has the size of the family changed in the last few decades in your country?
Okay. uh, I think people are more educated nowadays, so I think they plan their family. And before if I am talk about in recent last 10 years, the family size is relatively less, because they are more educated, and they are concerned, because Pakistan is a developing country, so uh, they they follow their they are following the rules. So yeah.
Okay. That was a great response. You had plenty ideas. Obviously, you had great answers for the questions, but you were just hesitating or just, you know, you were having difficulty in expressing those ideas. So that's just because of the lack of practice. But you used very good phrases like, in my opinion, I didn't think about that. Those were good. And you can add some examples and you can just practice for improving your fluency.
Yeah,
But
sure.
great effort, ma'am.
Thank you. I will try, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, any one of you?
Yes, ma'am, I want to try.
Okay, sir. Just a minute. Okay. Is punctuality important in your country?
Yes, ma'am. Punctuality is important in our country, but in my opinion, punctuality is not really related to importance of punctuality is not related only to my country. It's related to the whole world. Punctuality matters in every industry, in every organization, because in employers or employees, if they are not punctual, they cannot work properly, and punctuality is also a skill which makes the personality, which improves the personality of a person. If a person is not punctual, the employer cannot trust on that employee, and they will not give them a task or a competent task that will help them to build their profile or resume, so it may be easy for them to apply for an other opportunity and to build their lifestyle to a better level. Punctuality is very much important for everyone. If I give an example, if a student is not punctual in his life, he will never succeed. Punctuality is the key to success, as practice is key to success. Punctuality is also a key to success. If I give another example, if a person is not punctual in reaching their office, then he will not be hired so long. He will be disqualified, and a employer maybe will not recognize, employer will not be able to take him with his organization so long. Punctuality is very much important according to me.
Okay. So, how do people make sure they are on time for an appointment?
People can make sure by doing their work on time, by doing their work before time, or make themselves alarming in an alarming situation for the important task. They can mark their calendars, they can add reminders to your cell phones or their wristwatches as well, and they can target their works as well to do in time as well. In that way, they can follow the they can be punctual and help their personality to be punctual as well.
Okay. So, do people in your country usually wear a watch?
uh, According to me, in my country, there's a lesser number, there is a lesser percentage who is wearing watch. A larger amount, a larger percentage is not wearing wristwatches, but they have cell phones, and majority of them have Android cell phones or smartphones like iPhones. They can add reminders there, but those people who are wearing wristwatches may be more punctual, because sometimes in organizations mobile phones are not allowed, and they are not allowing and organizations are not allowing them to use mobile phones during their during their working time. So wristwatches can make a person to be more punctual than the reminder on cell phones during work time. Although we can add reminders on our cell phones whenever there is a time for the important task to do. The reminders tells us to do this task as soon as possible. uh, in this way, the punctuality will be done, and again, and there is a lesser percentage, but I think the peoples who can afford wristwatches should adopt wearing wristwatches, so time will be so they can easily manage time and be punctual on their work life balance.
Great, sir. So, is it easy to control one's time?
Ma'am, I'm unable to understand what you are saying. Can you please repeat the question?
Is it easy to control one's time?
No, ma'am, is it not? This is not easy to control time, and I think it is. Um, and I think it's wrong to control someone's time, because time is the property of that sole person who is enjoying his life as well. But in working, there is a some amount of time, some period of time which is fixed for their work life, which is totally available for his organization. So that time, we can say that is controlling by the boss or the employer. But I don't think so we can control the time of any of the person, but we can say that you should do this task on that time, and or that time we can give them a slot of time. So I don't think so we can control any of the time, any person's time.
So, what about your own time? Can you control your own time?
Yes, ma'am, I can control my own time by being punctual on my daily life activities as well. I should get up early in the morning, so to start my activities early, so I can finish them on time, and show and being the and become as a punctual person. Punctuality, and it will also enhance my personality. And again, it's a, I think, a famous proverb that time will not wait for a person to do his task, but I can control my time by being punctual in every of my task, in every of my to do task, for the today's activities or the upcoming activities. If I am not utilizing my time carefully, and if I am not utilizing my time carefully, then I am unable to control my time. But if I am utilizing my time carefully, I can easily manage my time, control my time, and showing myself as a punctual person. If I give another example, if a student is not go to bed early or get up early, he will not be punctual in his studies activities, and he will not control his time as well. But if he get up early and start the daily life activities early in the morning, and give his proper focus to his work, so that he can complete his work on time and control time easily.
Great, sir. It was a great response. You almost took 1.5 minutes to answer each of your questions. Your reasons were quite good, and the examples you quoted truly related to them. But the thing I noticed was that in each question, you first hesitate or you just don't know what to speak, and that is totally expressed to us. So you can overcome that, although your answers were great and your responses were fabulous. So well done, sir.
Ma'am, the thing you are saying that I was nervous. Can you please suggest me how can I overcome on these issues? Uh, Basically, this is my first class of IELTS, and I am just giving my very first mock. Before this, I never ever attend any of the IELTS class, and also never give a mock like that, and never ever do a speaking discussion with any of them, because I don't also have a partner. If I discuss it, if I try to do it with my friends, they make fun of myself, and that is the main reason. But this is
Yeah,
my very first time.
yeah, sir, it's understandable. But here you can practice and no one will judge you. And if this was your first attempt, so it was great. and I don't think so I could do that much good in my first attempt. So it was a great response. You can mold it. You just need to just generate ideas, brainstorm, and that would be through practicing different topics, through practicing the common topics that are usually asked. Like in this, I also showed you the common topics that are discussed in the part 3. So you can visit this website and just have a look on them and practice them personally and then with a person or a partner. You can also use ChatGPT, but I would suggest it would be best to just practice it with a person one on one. So it would be a great
All
practicing
right.
technique.
All right, ma'am. Ma'am, as you are saying about part one, part two, and part three, can you please tell me there is not only four tests: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. There is the test is divided into parts as well. Parts, or this is a practice parts.
So, we have four modules. First one is listening, reading, writing, and the last one is speaking. And in each module we have different parts. Like in listening module we have four parts. There are the 40 questions are divided into four parts, 10 questions each. And in the reading module we also have three parts in which we have to answer the 40 questions and they are divided into three parts. In the writing module, we have two parts, and in the speaking module, we have three parts. That is what we mean by part 3.
All right, ma'am. All right, all right, all right.
If you still have some confusion, you can just go and check the pinned messages in the Slack, and you will get through a spreadsheet where the recorded lectures are being pinned or linked, and you can just watch them and clear out your confusion.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So, anyone else? Miss Saira, can you please unmute yourself and practice with us? Miss Saira Mumtaz, are you here? Okay, I don't think so. She wants to. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. So let's talk about some other common topics that can be asked in part 3. So these were the templates I were asking the questions from. Like I asked for about the punctuality, and these are the questions that can be asked related to that specific topic. But the questions would be like 4 to 5, depending upon your ability to answer them. Like if you take too much time to answer each question, so the examiner will obviously reduce the number of questions because the session time is limited and we will only have 3 to 4 minutes for this part 3. So you don't need to lengthen your answer too much. You can just keep it in a range of 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay, that would be an okay answer. So we can also be asked about photography and do many people like taking photos in your countries? So like that. And socialization, socializing can also be a topic. And in this website you can have plenty of topics that could be asked. And I think so today's practice session also helped us to grab up some tips and to learn from our mistakes. So if any one of you have any questions about any of module or any question related to this part or today's lecture, we can have that.
Ma'am, I have a question that you are saying that 30 seconds to 1 minute is enough. Can we prolong the question, prolong the answer to beyond 1 minute, or it is necessary to be in 1 minute limit?
So there is not a hard and fast rule for that, but it's just a suggestion to limit your answer, because we in the real time exam we often get nervous about answering, and we have a lot of pressure obviously. So if we lengthen our answer, so there is a more chance of making mistakes in the sense of our grammar, in our vocabulary, and obviously we also got out of our vocabulary limit. Like we have limited vocabulary, right? So if we are talking about a specific topic, so we won't be able to memorize or just speak some of the synonyms about that. So repetition of the same word can also result in the deduction of marks.
All right, ma'am.
Yes. But if you have plenty of ideas and a lot of synonyms about a specific word, you can lengthen your answer. There won't be any negative marking, but there's a suggestion due to the points I mentioned.
Yes, ma'am, you are right. Ma'am, I also like to share one my experience. Almost 1 month ago, I started speaking practice. But at the beginning, I practiced with the ChatGPT, and ChatGPT graded me at 6.5. And after that, I practiced 1 minute without any recording and without limit a time, at least 30 or 1 minute for part 3 or maybe part 1. So after that, I again attempted one session with the chat GPT, and the result was very shocking for me because he graded me at point 0.6. So then I understand the reason behind it. Whenever anyone practice speaking, they should try to record the time. For example, for part 2, I usually follow to speak at least a half a minute, and part 3, I usually speak 1 minute, and part 2, I usually speak 2+ minute. So I think if anyone want to practice independently, they should strictly record time. Otherwise, they cannot progress their speaking.
Yes, sir, it was a very good tip that you shared here. So if you don't have any partner, you can just record yourself, and that will also help you to manage your time, and also to identify your mistakes, the mistakes you are making, and you can also rehear your recording, and you can identify your mistakes and work on them. So the basic purpose of practicing is just to identifying your mistakes. If you know what your mistakes are, you can surely overcome that. So we have a question in the chat box. I have a question. I want to start arts preparation from very start. So how and from where I should start from I Code Guru? Sir, currently only this is the session that's going on about the arts, and I don't have any idea if any further session will be started after this. Tomorrow will be the last day of our arts session, and you can have the recordings of each lecture in the pinned message, and I will also just inbox you the link of the spreadsheet, so you could hear the recordings, and the resources are also mentioned there, and you can also use them. And the website I would suggest you is Agnovate for listening and reading practice. And firstly, I would suggest that the reading and listening modules are the modules where you can score 9 by 9 or at least 8 bands, because we have plenty of margin in those. We can practice each question type and master the strategies, because each question type have a different strategy to adopt. And if we master that, if we obviously due to practicing, so we can gain a 8 band or 9 band in that. And the yeah, sure, I will. And in the writing and speaking, we have not a large margin, because we are not very good at that, because we do not often practice writing in English. In creative writing, I'm talking about the creative writing. So in speaking also, we are not too fond of speaking in English in Pakistan, obviously. So we need practice of these skills, and they can be improved due to practice. And you will and if you want a pro tip, I would suggest you that you just take a session about the tips. Like if you are taking this session, you may start it from the very beginning. You may take approximately 2 weeks to listen to the recordings and practice. And when you think you are fully practiced and you are able to take a test, just come on iCode Guru and teach one of session. So when you teach one of the session, your practice your knowledge is practically implemented. You may revise each strategy and may also learn it in a very simple way while delivering the lectures. So when you deliver the lectures and when you have practiced it well, so you are too ready to go and take a real time exam. So that's suggestion from my side.
Yes, ma'am. You are absolutely right. This is a best way to start preparation. But I will like to add very little bit information. Like Raza, and this is a new student here or a beginner. So I think the beginner should start their preparation from any module or maybe from any class. For example, when I started my preparation, I I didn't understand anything, and I believed that I was a very low. But after 1 2 week, I started to understand where I should start. And if anyone start, then they after a 1 2 week they understand what is the best way to start. So I think this is best way to invest their time to any session available. Maybe this is a last second last class, but you should also take this is also help you.
Yes, sir. We have the recorded lectures of every session that ever happened. Like I took a session of Sari Badur Rahman, that was a 11 p.m. session, which was in the month of September. So I took those session. I didn't attended any of the live class, which was the thing I regretted. But I watched each of the recorded lectures and the resources they shared, and I just practiced through them. So when I mastered my practicing technique, I spent almost 2 to 3 weeks on practicing them. Then I came here on iCode Guru and started to teach or giving the sessions, and that was a wonderful experience. The knowledge I had as a student is now, you can say, maximized while being a teacher here. because when you prepare lectures for each of your session, you also you not only just revise the thing, you also come across many new things that you can adopt. So it's a very good suggestion. Thank you, Sir Ali Raza, for adding this. So any questions further, or we can end the meeting?